Hello, my new lore seeker friends. Welcome to the cave of friendliness and true horrors between our stories. Today we'll be telling the saddest story of a time when an Eevee is neglected by an owner, but secretly cursed for friendship. When the Sylveon finds him, and all that there's there is truly loneliness. Let's get into the story, shall we? One moment. It is loading. So this story is made by Flaky Porcupine and is in the Pokemon section of creepypastafandom.com/wiki. Let's begin. Tyron is a Sylveon. He is recognized for his pink fur and ribbon-like appendages, and sometimes even made fun of for his flamboyant and rather girly appearance. He is a very kind heart and always willing to make friends with other denizens of the forest, and wakes up in the morning and hoped that he would meet somebody new. And on this particular day, he would meet someone special indeed. He walks up to a small pond, starts to lap up water out of it. When he sees his reflection that he's not by himself, he looks up to see a nearby Eevee who is looking down at his own reflection in the water. He looks like he was on the verge of tears. Tyron felt a wave of sympathy wash over him at the sad sight, and instantaneously approaches the Eevee to console the poor child. The Eevee was noticeably thin and looking like a scarecrow, as if it was not used to being on its own. Indeed, he had had a home life, and once with his loving trainer long ago. As he found firsthand, what can be given to him can be as easily taken away. He was left on his own to rot in the woods, and none of it was his own fault. The Eevee slowly but surely began to accept his lonely disposition, and being modest in nature, Eevee reaches out to touch his reflected image, which further ripples and distorts him into an image not to his own liking. He cannot understand why he was kept away from having an owner, a home, a friend. Somewhere not too far away, he can hear footsteps approaching him, but naturally ignore them, as if he did not notice. After all, why would anyone want to see him? That is when he suddenly sees another Pokemon, casted in a reflection directly behind him, with a gentle, sympathetic voice to follow. Hello, little one. What is your name? The Eevee turned around quickly to reply, but casted his head down. Loneliness? The Sylveon gave a confused frown at the very abnormal name. Loneliness? He quickly recovers and offers another warm, fresh smile. That's a nice name. What are you doing in a big forest like this? There are lots of bigger, hungrier Pokemon who would get you in a heartbeat. He looks over at the Eevee's fur closely, seeing steer-tained pelt around his eyes, and the mad, unkept fur everywhere else. Oh, you poor thing. Where are your parents? He asked sweetly, but the grin he was secretly dreading the answer. Well, the Eevee introduced himself as Loneliness began. If they would like to die in my worthless flesh, they most certainly can. He lets out a miserable sigh. I have been my own for the past few years, neglected by my own trainer, just to be thrown away like a broken toy. Warm tears started to fall from the Eevee's cheeks. Tyron was in utter shock at those strong words, his mouth opening agape, with his own tears now forming around his eyes. He reached out to the Eevee with a ribbon adrill, rubbing his back. Oh, my Arceus, child. How could you think you're useless than the other? Everyone has their own special place in this world. How could you think of yourself like that? The evolution lies down on his stomach to get eye-to-eye level with the smaller Pokemon, with tears still in his eyes, but with an honest, small smile returning to his cheeks. You're special. Loneliness. No one can tell you differently. The Eevee's tears finally made their way to the ground, which stains grass into a darker red. Turns out the poor creature was cursed, but tries to deny it. He looks at the other Pokemon and shakes his head. But I don't have a place. I serve no purpose. It is a sin for me to be alive. I'm special for all the wrong reasons. At this point, Tyron couldn't take it anymore and takes the pitchable creature into a hug, which returns to the embrace weeping. Tyron was ignoring the stained grass and whimpering openly into his words. Please don't say that, Lonely. You are not a sin. You are a beautiful creature that deserves as love as everyone else. I won't let you think that you are hated by everyone else. I don't hate you. He looks into the child's eyes. That counts, right? Tyron closes his eyes and puts his forehead onto Lonely's and whispers, Please accept my words. The Eevee continued to cry for a full minute. No more, no less. He tries to control the flooding and different emotions flowing through him. Sorrow, relief, and most of all, dreaded fear. But has difficulty controlling himself. The kind of words the other male showed him made him feel like he actually matters in his pitiable existence and wants for his life. Like he was not some sort of plague that was inclined to believe. He opens his eyes slowly and nuzzles this generous creature, an only friend he had had in years. Sylvian was more excited to see that he's gotten a thin boy to smile wildly. And Happy nuzzles him back. Loneliness, you can stay with me, please. Stay with me and I will love you as much as I can. I will make sure you never feel sad again, he said, looking down to the little one under him. Loneliness looked up at him. Stay? He couldn't finish his sentence, not knowing how. Love him? Never be sad again? The words seemed to be foreign to him now, not believing the true. He looks at the older male to see if it would turn out to be pulling his leg, but the expression and his tone were genuine. He stares in the creature in silence before his eyes lit up and kisses his newfound friend's nose. Tywin is overcome with joy. Small Eevee's kisses and starts to lick the little Eevee's face repeatedly. Linus closes his eyes and smiles for the first time. Hears as his face is licked. Is that a purr he is letting out? Thank you, Lonely. Thank you for accepting me. I know you will not regret it. He pulls him into another embrace, rubbing the starved belly with his ribbons. After what seems like hours of this hug, he let him go, looking at the Eevee with compassionate eyes. Otherwise, the Eevee would be more than happy to hug him for the rest of eternity. The Sylveon asked the miner if he'd love to play hide-and-seek together, but the Eevee declined and offered now would not be the time for that certain game. He thought instead on the game of tag, and they both enjoyed themselves, laughing and giggling out throughout the whole game before taking the afternoon nap, with Eevee cuddling up to his friend and hoping never to be separated. They both awake in the morning, stretching their tired little bones. It was warm, brandy night. Sylveon looks over to his little prince, asks he was doing, who immediately responds with enthusiasm terrific. Tyron looks in the pond. I'm gonna go catch us some dinner. I'll be right back. He kissed his friend's forehead motherly before walking over to the water. The Eevee moves so where he can see his friend in plain sight, having a mid-case of separation anxiety. Tyron concentrated on the fish in the pond, noticing a few, and he was about to pen, when suddenly saw them swim away frantically. He looks in the water and curious to see what scared them. The thing next to him almost made his heart stop. There was a figure beneath the ripples of the water. Its skin was pure, ghastly white color, and its face was all across its face was just bare hands and red eyes. It was humanoid in appearance, having a feminine face, except its mouth was locked into a broken, like yawn, with a broken jaw. Upon noticing Tyran, the figure slowly turns to him, hissing hostilely, and reaches a cold red arm. Sylveon yelps and jumps back, the Eevee now running his direction. reaching to his friend to see if he's okay, his voice shaky from fright. Are you okay? Interrupted by a sudden forecast of rain. The storm gradually glows. Loneliness starts coming back to a friend who deeply made him forget about it entirely. His left eye started to bleed, resembling red tears. Tyrone starts breathing hard, looking around. What's going on? What's happening? He looks down at the boy. Oh my Arceus, your eye! Takes a nearby leaf and starts trying to wipe the blood away, looking around fearfully. The Eevee didn't notice his eye was bleeding whatsoever. Eyes slowly begins to dilate and throb violently, as if it was about to pop out from the pressure. The rain continues to fall. They're coming. The elder notices Lonely's face, becoming scared, so he bends down to his leveler. Lonely, Lonely, please look at me, Lonely. Are you okay? And he looks at the horrifying changing. Who's coming? Loneliness looks up and shakes his head at the question. No, he's not okay. He's in unbearable pain and starts to shake and closes his eye trying to ease the pain. Left eye even stops bleeding as he does. Tyron looks a bit reassured till the Eevee opens his eye. Tyron's jaw fell to the floor as his heart sank. The Eevee's eye was gone, and all there was a merely socket. But Loneliness did not appear to change. Desperate and pained, begged to be non-petrified friend. They want to take you away from me. Please don't leave, he pleads. Tyron gasps at the sight of the missing eye, but does not push him away. He has come to know Eevee too well to abandon him now. He looks around, seeing nothing getting any better, so he picks up the boy, Ribbons, and looks at him with his singular eye. I will never leave you lonely. Never. With that, he puts the boy on his back and bolts into the woodland. If we can get nameless forest area, the others can help us. But I need to know what is happening, Lonely. Please concentrate. Eevee is shaking uncontrollably, just for now in the fact that he lost his vision with one of his eyes. He puts a paw to his right eye, just tries to feel for it, only finding a hollow hole where once it was. His lone eye starts to shed tears from loss of vision and fear. Tyron did as much as he can on his own. He came closest to his eye and tries to explain. It all started trying to eradicate died. That's when they came. They came to my owner. They blamed me for its death. They tricked him into leaving me, so then they did. My trainer left me. He called me a curse. They possess anyone who did not come in contact with me. Everybody. They are mere shadows of their former selves. But I'm not a curse. He is broken by sobbing, no longer even believing himself. I am a curse. Tyron turns around to look at the poor creature on his back, his eyes away from his path ahead of him. No, you're not. I'm getting you away from wherever the hell is doing this. I will not let them hurt you anymore. Turns back to watch where he's going, but it was too late. He ran headfirst into a tree. He falls to the ground unconscious. When his mind came to, he found the Eevee shaking and yelling at him. Tyron, wake up! We need to leave! Wake up, please! His fright was a chaos meant, more fright than it was before. He had many scratches and abrasions. His thin build. At this point, he's in agonizing pain. Tyron lifts his head, swearing not convincingly to his friend that he's fine, and rises to his feet. He shakes his head, trying to clear away the drowsiness and some success. Hank looks at the Eevee, horrified. Lonely? He groans with tears in his eyes before cursing to empty apathetic skies. Suffering it has brought upon this poor child. Damn you fucking bastards. Ugh. He put the boy onto his back, more slow-paced, to his drowsiness and throbbing pain in his head. Meanwhile, cuts open on the Eevee's head reveal a partially gray matter. He holds back a scream, but having the bearable pain. Concentrate in his head. His friend, monster, killer. He tries to clear his mind on these thoughts, but he found it to be no use. He looks down at his paws and gaze that it had become slight red, and one of those things that he found at the pond earlier today. He let in a silent scream. Hate the monstrosity. He falls to the ground with Evie in front of him. Abandon him. Make him suffer, screamed in his mind. No, yells at the young Pokemon. Evie is now has the friend's attention, having to look and scream, and surprisingly he finds his friend in such a state. He opens his mouth to say something, or perhaps scream. He wasn't sure which, but clamped on promptly shut. He was more wise decision for both their sakes. He pulls one of the ribbons, trying to make his friend move before it'd be too late. You're becoming one of them. You need to listen to me. We need to go to the graveyard. Tyron starts to get up weakly. Where is it? He asks monotonously. Concentration, every little bit of power he has left to listening to the enduring Evie, but becoming harder to do so with each passing second. Loneliness looks at him woefully, as he is receiving his own messages and knows what he must done. He isn't happy about it. It's in Pallet Town. We need to go to Pallet Town. The evolution nods solemnly, his color further draining, as he starts to argue internally with the voice inside of his head. Leave him. No, I love him. Why? He's a walking corpse and a martyr. He deserves no love. Everyone deserves love. His mind starting to rip itself apart, but internal struggle causing him pain. He isn't willing to give up. Lead. Hurry. Tears running down his face freely. Evie started to walk to their destination, looking at making sure his friend was close behind him. The rain falling harder every step. Evie says two cryptic words, although one wasn't saying them. Laid to rest. Guillotine. Tyrone looks at the boy with hazy eyes, confused what he meant. What do you mean, Gillo? Leave him. No! Shout, staggering behind him, keeps up Evie. Not that it was hard to. Since Evie was limping, his bright blue eye stopped producing ears as they are a crimson shade of red, no longer filled with passion or affection, only apathy and malice. He finally reached the town, which saddens them even more. It was too dark for any living creature to be up this late or at night. Loneliness remembers that it was there that discovered the trainer, given to him by a professor. He was the one chosen. He remembers after his cousin picked up Pikachu as a sure memory fades, as Tyrant asks him a question. Lonely. What do I do? Guillotine? What do you mean? Loneliness does not respond to this question, only looking at us from one lasting eye. Other tears were falling at a heavy rate, gazing at his loyal friend for a while before giving at a grave in front of him. Now it seems conceived in a grave spot. Engraved in stone with Evie's own name, just missing the E. He was mute a few seconds, especially in a hushed sob. They want me. Tyron started looking at the grave, but saw suddenly in disbelief. Did you die? She asked before it became dark, in the dead tone. It wasn't his. If you did, you deserved it. He looked down at the boy. No, I didn't mean, I love him looking physical pain after you said that. Did I do? Hurry. He fell to a squat and looked down freely. Any way out of this? Any chance that they can both walk away together freely? This is all somewhat fate. But he knew there was only one way out of this, and there was just one way for Evie to simply treat forward. Evie stares at his grave in fear of what lies below. This simple message etched in stone. He didn't seem to catch entirely of Tyron's comment. Perhaps ignored the hateful words that came out of his mouth when he knew it wasn't his. But he turns to his friend and embraces him in one last tight hug. You were the best friend I ever had. He turns. Hiding tears he shed, walks to his tomb. Each step to numb his pain, walks closer to fulfill his destiny, his ultimatum. The tomb opens up to reveal an abyssal void, whether it was heaven, hell, or it lead entirely different neither of them now. Nor did they question it. They knew no matter where it led, it was somewhere beyond this life. So, and this was their farewell. Only stands in front of the gaping opening, where his eye, falling downward, ripping of flesh, slits around his neck and makes a small growing noise. Head falls clean off of his shoulders and tumbles into the box, with the rest of his body soon to follow. No! Tyrone howls, as his voicing in anguish. Soon would prevent this maximum ritual to continue. The void closes as it never descended, only leaving a grave behind. Magnet reads, loneliness. His name now put inside, put the E where it belongs. Tyrone went towards the grave, soaked in tears. He knows entirely normal, as nothing out of ordinary ever happened, but at the expense of someone else's life. Looking around, he saw no change in the physical world, but one less Evie on Earth. Loneliness, please, come back. I want you. No, I need you with me. You were so innocent, so useful. It's not fair. He looks up the sky in hatred. It's not fair, you sick bastards. This time the scare did not respond back. Somewhere a mad snicker be heard, a deep baritone of laughter. Without this time, the sky did not respond back. He fell to the ground and cried for a good hour, muttering words of love and his own misery throughout. His tears soaked the lid. The cover. Sylvian holds the cap, hoping someone even was merely waiting inside for him to do so. He looks down on the earthen grave, lies inside of the body of Evie, peacefully lifeless. Seemingly intact, Evie looked before as he did. Mutilation process began. He looked down at the figure. Loneliness? Paid no response. Evie, the closest friend he ever had, was dead. All he could do is wish that in that world, beyond the stone lid, that he was no longer alone. He lays down the candor and hugged it for one last time. The body still limped to have warmth to it. You were the greatest Pokemon I ever knew, Lonely. It was a pleasure to know you while you lived. He cautiously sets the Eevee back down and closed the cover once more, tears rolling down his cheeks. He plucks a red rose from a nearby bush and sets it on the stone. He recalls what Eevee told him on the fateful journey. For the record, you were always right. You weren't a curse. The Sylveon agrees with the deceased friend, giving the cemetery one last glance before walking away. You were a blessing. Well, friends, I hope you liked that story. It is kind of sad and scary, so I hope you enjoy it. And give me a like if you enjoy it. I'll see you soon, my lore fans.